Hi there, welcome to 60 Matthews. I'm Matthew, and today I want to talk about my Star Wars tattoo. Yesterday was May 4th, National Star Wars Day. And even though you're watching this later on in the week, May the 4th be with you. During the day, I celebrated by playing a lot of Minecraft, and after several hours over the course of several days, I finally found a jungle within my world. I got a lot of cool stuff, but mainly I got a toucan, I think, and I found a green parrot that I named Yoda. I had searched a long time and it was far from my spawn point. It was an epic quest getting him back safely to my home, but I finally did it. He was safe, I was alive, and I was super excited. So I celebrated by saving the game, logging out, and then I finished the night by popping some popcorn and sitting down and watching The Empire Strikes Back. If it looks kind of grainy, it's because it's the original taken from an old VHS tape because Han shot first and I don't want to live in a universe where that's not true. Anyway, every time I watch this movie, it always impacts me more and more, and obviously it's already had a huge impact on me, because now I have Yoda's hand grabbing his lightsaber with the phrase, "Use the Force," on my arm for the rest of my life. But I love it, and there's a lot to unpack here. I have a common theme with all of my tattoos where they all incorporate the fact that they're on my body. For instance, my first tattoo artwork has a safety pin that looks like it's pinned into my chest. And with this one, Yoda's hand is grabbing his lightsaber, which is my hand. So in a more literal sense, my hand, or basically me, is as powerful as Yoda's lightsaber. And if you've seen the movies, you know that Yoda is a great warrior. Although war does not make one great. And wrapping around the lightsaber is the phrase, "Use the Force." And all of that can be taken as, I am powerful. It's a reminder that I'm in control. But that also means that I am responsible. I can help, I can hurt, I have the power to control my own actions. I can't move rocks or spaceships, but I can influence the world around me. And that is what Yoda says the Force is. It is this energy that flows through all of us and connects all of us, every living and every non-living thing. And here's where we're going to get a little bit religious, so buckle up. I've had a long journey with religion, and I'm far from a preacher or anyone who can tell you how to live or who to be. It's such a personal and personalized experience, and to me, Star Wars fits right into my faith along with Christianity and Buddhism. I started out as a Catholic and going to Mass and Sunday school, and then for very good reasons that I won't go into here, we left the church. I was atheist for a while, and then I was pagan, and then I was agnostic, and then finally I landed on Buddhism. But the recurring theme for me, as I continued to question this idea of who God is, was kind of what Yoda was talking about with the Force. Now, it's no secret that in creating the Star Wars universe, George Lucas was heavily influenced by the myths studied by Joseph Campbell. This is a 6-part series where Joseph Campbell was thoroughly interviewed by the journalist Bill Moyers. And Joseph Campbell goes deep into all of the recurring myths and themes that have persisted throughout all religions, all societies across the globe. This is a fascinating series in and of itself, but this edition in particular, the 25th anniversary edition, has a bonus interview where Bill Moyers interviews George Lucas after the release of The Phantom Menace, and they both talk about their friend Joseph Campbell and how much he influenced the Star Wars universe. The interview is great because they talk a lot about religion and all of the recurring myths and themes that are present throughout all religions. At one point in the interview, Bill Moyers talks to George Lucas about stories he's heard where religious leaders will sometimes reference the stories in Star Wars to connect to some of the religious stories. George Lucas makes it very clear that he's not trying to create a new religion. He's just trying to take all of these stories and themes that have persisted throughout humans' history and wrap them up into the myths of the Star Wars universe. Myths that are fascinating if you watch anything by Joseph Campbell. But to me, they're all the same. No matter what books you believe, whether that be the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, or the Star Wars fan fiction saga, all of these have a lot of the same ideas. One of the recurring themes is the battle of good and evil, and choosing the harder, longer option of good versus the faster, easy option of evil. The story can be told of Jesus, who was offered all the kingdoms of the world by Satan, and choosing to refuse him. The same story can be told of the Buddha and his epic quest to enlightenment when he was greeted by the god of temptation, Mara. And of course, the same story can be told in Star Wars when Luke refused to join his father, Darth Vader. Even though the world of Star Wars is completely fictional, I think a lot of the same themes and myths are transcendent between works of fiction and religion. I think a lot of it is just inherent in being a human or being alive or being a part of this world. Basically, I think there are a lot of universal things across all stories and all religions. One of those things being the Force. I do believe there is some kind of force. Call it God, call it intuition, call it the human consciousness, call it whatever you want. But I do believe there is something that connects and binds all of us. And I believe that we have influence over that force. I don't really believe in destiny where we should just continue living our lives because some God in the sky has already decided what our story is. I believe that I should choose to be a good person because God is present within me. That force is present within me. I need to choose to be a good person because that will yield positive results in the world. And I don't want to end up as Darth Vader or Senator Palpatine. So I hope that starts to explain why I have Yoda's hand grabbing his lightsaber with the phrase, use the Force. It reminds me that I am in somewhat of control, that I do have influence over the world, and I need to be a good person not just for myself, but for the world around me. But for now, that's all I have for this week. I know this one was a little long-winded and really deep and philosophical, but if I'm going to have something on my body for the rest of my life, especially something so visible, then it's going to have to be a talking point. And I want to be able to offer more than just, I don't know, I like Star Wars. So I hope you enjoyed my long-winded rant. I hope you had a good Star Wars day. I really hope you go and watch something Star Wars. And definitely check out The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell. I really, really hope you're doing well in these weird times. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.